What's going on there, folks? This is Quinn, that's Snazzy iPhone Guy, and this is the video review of the PowerSkin for iPhone 4. Now, this is a battery case that will retail you for $79.99, but you can find it for $69.99 on their own website, and even a couple bucks cheaper on online resellers. Now, this case has a 2,000 milliamp hour advertised capacity, which in theory more than doubles the life of your iPhone, because your iPhone's is 1420 and this is 2000. So in theory, you should get about 120% charge out of this case. However, unfortunately, that was not the case, and I wasn't even really able to charge the phone all the way from dead, which is extremely disappointing. In pretty much every field test I tried, and I did about 4 of them, I ran the battery from completely dead, plugged it into the PowerSkin, and let it charge without touching it. So I wasn't actively using it. It was left alone, so it should be just charging. And I was only able to get it from about 85 to 90%. So even the capacity in this advertised 2,000 milliamp hour battery pack is less than the iPhone's 1420. So really, you're only going to get about 1350 out of this case. And considering its obesity is terrible, this is one of the fattest battery cases I've ever seen. Just to put it in perspective for you there, it will more than double the size of your iPhone 4. It looks like a brick. It's extremely heinous, very, very unattractive. There's not a lot of good qualities about this case because there is no screen shield, no lay on the table design, and this case is really flimsy. On the back, it's robust, but on the sides, it's sure not. And this silicone keeps flipping up and it'll get disjunkled on the side right here. That was a good word, huh? So you'll see like part of the iPhone sticking out, and it really is just not well thought out. The buttons here are extremely tough to push despite the silicone's flimsiness, and I really, really don't like it. You have a recessed headphone jack here, which means you can really only get the Apple earbuds in, or ones that are designed specifically for a recessed jack, which again is another huge downside. You have good access to your vibrate switch, but remember, your buttons are extremely difficult to press. Your home button has full access right here. There are little slots cut out right here so you can hear the microphone and the speaker. The speaker was quite quiet, and people I talked to on the phone said the microphone was really muddy. It sounded like I was in a tunnel, and that was that. Now, you're not going to notice any signal degradation, which is good. However, I mean, just look at that thing. It's so ugly. Here on the back, you have a soft touch plastic feel. This is where it's kind of plasticky, and I like that. But the rest of the case is indeed silicone, which is very bad because it picks up lint, it picks up just about everything that has any molecular mass to it, and I'm not a big fan. If you take a look at that camera hole cutout, look at that. I can stick like half of my finger down in that little freaking canyon of a camera cutout because it's so beastly. Not only did I have a bunch of flash issues, but I also had the camera lens actually vignette. This sticks out so far, it actually disrupts the very, very corners of the images you shoot. Huge, huge fail. On here on the side, you're going to have a micro USB port. They do include a very shoddily built 3-foot cable. It had some erratic charging issues. I think my cable was defective because it didn't really work like it should have, and I used my own, so I was good, but they include a very lousy cable. Right here is where you plug it in. You can sync and charge through here. It's put on the side, which is horrible design if you ask me, because when you're typing on it, it's right there, sticking out full speed, so you have to like reach over the top. Really, really, really poorly thought out. Down here on the bottom, you have a button that allows you to access one of 4 indicators telling you how much battery you have left. I don't think it's currently, yeah, it's currently charging. It does it automatically when you plug it in. You can turn it off by clicking this for like 2 seconds, maybe. It's very erratic. And there you go. Now it's stopped charging. I can re-begin charging by holding this button for about 2 seconds, and it will pop back on. Other than that, though, that button isn't there for a whole lot else. It just is to start charging and stop charging and give you the LED indicators. Now, like I said, it's big, bulky, it's pretty non-protective considering its size. It doesn't get the advertised capacity. Buttons are hard to push. There's really lousy cutting. It's like kind of warped here on the sleep-wake button area because, or not the sleep-wake button, the vibrate switch area, because like the silicone is like kind of drooped down there, pulling this part a little bit down. It's extremely annoying. So poor cutting, junky USB cable, there's flash issues, there's vignetting issues. I can't recommend this case at all to anyone. It's horrible, especially considering you pay $80 for it. You don't get the capacity that it advertises, and everything else is just completely horrendous. There are extremely, like 10 times better options on the market for less than half the price. The Incipio Off-Grid is one of them. You'll get almost as much charge out of it, and it's half the size, half the weight. It actually protects your phone, and you know, this really just is a very, very much a fail in my opinion. I think that they had a good idea in theory, but it wasn't well executed. It wasn't, you know, well pulled off. They rushed it to the market, and I can't recommend it to anyone. Like I said, Mophie Juice Pack Air, you can even get cheap Chinese OEM battery packs that have bigger capacities and are thinner than this case. It's horrible. I give it a 2 out of 10 at best, maybe a 1 out of 10. I'll give it a 2 out of 10 because it does do one thing right, and that is charge your phone. It doesn't do it for the recommended or for the advertised capacity, but it does charge it. I was extremely disappointed with this case. I've never been so annoyed by a singular product. And unfortunately, PowerSkin has to go back to the drawing board because this was a complete failure, and they need to look at other competitors on the market and kind of withdraw some ideas from them because this is not the way to go. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Do not buy the PowerSkin for iPhone 4. And as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.